Welcome back to the Technology Man channel, and this time we have a technical guide for you on how to make your games look a little bit better with Reshade. So what is Reshade? Well, Reshade, basically it's a post-processing layer over the top of your game rendering that does some cool sort of ray tracing looking effects such as HDR, luminosity, vibrance, all the sort of tweaks you would find in your typical image editing program, as well as layers, so you can layer over icons or other things over your broadcasts or streams if you're doing streaming. Now if you look at the image here, it looks fine, and this is your normal world experience. But when we apply some of these filters, you get a little bit more pop out of it. And as you can see here, your colours are more vibrant, you've got more depth of field and more range in the tones. So it just sort of makes your videos and images pop a bit more than what you've got control over in the game itself. Okay, so let's go and download Reshade. Reshade is available at reshade.me, and you can download it from the download button right here. Download that, save it to somewhere on your file system, and basically going to run that. Will essentially ask you to find the game. Now I've already got this installed, so I made it different, but the buttons are essentially the same. So you're going to click here to manage an existing game that you've installed it to, or to configure a new one. And what Reshade does is it downloads all of the effects, all of the shaders, into the game directory of the game that you installed it to. So if you click this button here, it will enumerate a whole bunch of games. Now we're going to do Star Citizen today. Star Citizen's not brought up, so you just need to navigate to Star Citizen directory. It's usually your program files, Roberts Space Industries, Star Citizen 5, bin 60. From there you're going to choose starcitizen.exe, and it will then ask you to choose the mode that's used. Now I'm not aware of Star Citizen using Vulkan yet. It is planned apparently using the AWS Lumberyard engine, but I choose Direct 3D and it works quite well. So I've already installed this, so we're getting an update button, but you'll get something slightly different. It'll be an install button or whatever. This will actually now take you to the packages that you wish to install. Now I've got most of them installed. A lot of these do double up effects, and they're different packages from now once you choose those, it's going to go ahead and download those to the directory of your game, and you can choose individual effects here to enable or disable, but we're just going to go ahead and install all those for the time being. Now that's it, that's done, it's ready to go. From here you want to actually navigate to your game directory, and you want to just check the hotkey that it's using to bring up the menu. So in the directory that you had your bin, you can actually see here that there's a few things. You can see there's a Reshade shaders directory. That's where it installs the shaders too. You can actually see now it's organized by effect and or package. The main file you want to look for here is a file called reshade.ini. That's an ini file. It contains all of the settings for the presets. I've got something already set. The main one you want to look at here is the input section and the key menu. Now that may not exist, so you may need to actually type that in manually. Now I've got mine set to 45. That's the insert key. In Star Citizen, there are two keys that are readily available and aren't actually used by anything in the game. And that is insert and delete. So I've chosen insert. It makes sense to me to insert a menu on the top of the game that I'm playing, but that's up to you. If you want to set that to something else, by default, that's the home key, by the way, which is actually used in Star Citizen. So we moved that away so that we didn't inflict the game. If you wanted to change that, you can just go and find a keycode site. So this one here, JavaScript keycode.com. I'll put all these links in the description for you. But here you can actually choose which key you want that to be. So you can see here, delete is 46, insert is 45, space is 32, backspace is 8. So, and they're all listed here. So we're using 45, like I said, is the insert key. That's in that file there. That's all you need to edit here. You can also change some of the other settings here. You can do the screenshot path to decide where those screenshots go to. And you can also change the screenshot option. So the default is print screen. So if you're happy with that, leave it at that. If you want to change it, look up the key code and change that to what you change. Save that file and close it. And then it's just a matter of launching your game. And within there, you will actually get a menu. Okay, so top left is where you'll see your menu come in. And there it is there. So the first tab here is the effects that you wish to apply. If you look at the background here, if I turn all these off, see how the game normally looks. Okay, so if we put some levels in, that just adjusts the levels, which is the brightness. HDR gives it that dynamic range look of a wider range of darks and a wider range of whites. HDR stands for high dynamic range. And essentially, it's a technique used in photography where you'll typically take 3 photos, one dark, one light, one in the middle, and you'll combine those to get a much wider range of tones. We can do film grain if that's up your alley. We can do vibrance. And beginning, we'll just add an artistic vignette to the outside, which is the we also have anti-aliasing, so that will help just take the edges off some of those jaggies. Now, there are a bunch of others. There are overlays, there are cursors, there are all kinds of things. You can load up a transparent PNG into here and use that as an overlay. So you could do your org logo, you could do your channel logo, you could do any number of things. The next screen here. Oh, by the way, there are also profiles. So you can have a profile for each game, or you can have a profile for each thing that you're doing. You might have a profile just for playing your game. You might have a profile for when you're doing recordings. You might have a profile for when you're doing live broadcasts. The other area to look at, and we saw these in the ini file. You can see there, that was the file location. There's also the key to use, the screenshot key is the print key. There's other settings in there that you can play with and adjust like timestamps of your FPS counter. You can do clock, frame times, etc. All kinds of things. Next tab is a statistics tab. While your game's playing, it'll show you rendering statistics. Then you got log, about. You can close that menu by hitting insert again and then play your game as normal. So it doesn't interfere, you don't see it, it doesn't create any issues. You can bring that menu back anytime by hitting insert, no problems at all. And we'll just finish on a couple of before and after shots. You can see quite a big difference. Now that's it for this video. If you enjoyed what you saw, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give me a thumbs down. If you want to see more, subscribe.